Hey. Oh man, I wish I could play the actual song. Hey y'all, it's Hot Priestess Jamila. So I wanted to come and talk to you guys about court cases today. Um and just to talk to you guys about the spirit of justice versus the spirit of injustice and lies and truth and the spirit of desperation and all of that stuff. Um, so, for those of you, some of you guys are dealing with situations that are beyond disbelief. A lot of you guys, just like in that song Formation, you worked hard and you earned what you have. Okay, what you have obtained. And a lot of you guys are dealing with people who are either jealous of what you have or they want what you have. And what they will do is they will make these false accusations against you. And, a lot of you, this is, you found out the hard way when it comes to um, people that do things like that. Because what you find is that there seems to be this spirit of desperation that is very alive and well. And the spirit of desperation will make people do desperate things. That's kind of the energies that we're dealing with on this earth. And I mean, it's not like it's anything new. So you may be a person that works hard and you have ethics. You know what I'm saying? You do what's right, right? And you'll be successful. And then somebody that has not been successful, or either they don't appreciate whatever they're given, because everybody sets their own goals and limitations. And you'll have this person that wants a piece of your pie, and they're willing to lie to get it. They're willing to lie on you because they're scamming, they're scheming. Okay. And when it comes to court cases specifically, because I over here at Divine Services, I have a 100% success rate on court cases, especially you guys that to where an actual real courtroom is being used against you. Okay. And you got people that typically what I'm talking about is frivolous lawsuits, frivolous things and lies, um, with not even any real evidence of what they're saying. So basically, when the court is open, a judge has to make a decision. So, for example, if you've got, like a savings account and, a person knows that you have that money and they'll be desperate. Oh, shoot, I'm doing bad because of their own, because, anybody that's doing bad to the point where they have to make up something about somebody or false accusations to the point where they want something for free. They want something from you, and they'll say, oh, well, you have so much, you have plenty, so I'm entitled to that. And there have been many people that have done this and got away with it, to the point where, and then of course they do use spiritual work. So there's a lot of people that will go in the courtroom and you may have 50, 60, 100 grand in the bank, and that person can make up a false accusation about you and say, hey, you know, I just want some money for pain and suffering, when you have done nothing wrong to that person. They've made up a false accusation. And the judges make mistakes all the time. And then, especially when it comes to whose spirits are in the courtroom, who's present. Because what they'll do is they will try to block out your ancestors and your spirits, and they will get over on the court with the spirit of lies and injustice. And they may feel entitled. They feel, hey, I did what I had to do, and your 100 grand that you got in the bank now is only 50 grand. So you just had to give money to this person that's a liar because the court ordered you to do it. And it's because they did that work on you so that they could get your money, and you ain't did nothing wrong. And that's not justice. So people will file an appeal, and the appeal will be denied. And that's their spirits doing that. So if you have that kind of situation and you end up blindsided because you're already seen as a bad person because you got all that money. You're already seen as an evil, wicked person because you got all that money, and you're not willing to give it away. And so that person with the spirit of desperation will be awarded something that they're actually really not entitled to. They have the spirit of need on them, and their spirits will grant them that. And you'll have less, and people can take what you got. And I know for a fact that there's people out there going through that. Okay. And the sad part about it is, this is the reason why I don't struggle with religion. I am Luciferian all the way, straight up and down, because, you know, and this is no shade to Jesus, but Jesus will sit back and allow that to happen. I'm just telling y'all what I know. And you'll have to grant this person your money, and at the same time, they cursing you just because. And then the next thing you know, you done lost all your money. Yeah. You don't never, ever, ever, because they're doing it out of desperation, out of need. Oh, I have to speak and lie and make this false accusation against you because I need to get what I need to get, and you owe me. You gotta pay me, even though you don't owe that person nothing. And a lot of people are going through this. And a lot of you guys will feel like, well, money isn't everything. You know what I'm saying? But you can't get nowhere in this world without it. You can't. And a lot of people say, well, money isn't everything. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna go. And a lot of people say, well, I don't want to do that witchcraft because whatever. But the person that did that to you is practicing witchcraft as well. This is the break in the understanding. This is the reason why we don't get angry at Jesus. It's a chess move. I don't get angry at Jesus because of that, because it just is what it is. Because even there's nobody pure. There's no such thing as that. I've seen Christians lie through their teeth to get what they got to get. And you may be the target, you may be the sacrifice to where the money that you earned, because whenever somebody is able to get your money, that's still energy. That's your energy, because it took your energy, it took your thought process and your actions to earn that money in the first place. So that's when a paradox is open. That's when this reality is opened, which is this reality to where this person can take from you to sustain themselves. Because really, the way that spirit sees it is that it's all about what you will and you intend. So when you have somebody that did not commit a crime but is being falsely accused by this person that is needy, right? And if you fight it and win, you're seen as the evil person because you won't give something to that person that is needy. Right? And it's something that you have to get out of that mindset of self-sacrifice, because you have every right to manifest your prosperity and blessings and abundance. You had every right to do that. And that person that is lower than you, by their own choices, they made a choice to be up under you and to do this low vibrational crap. They made a choice to do that. But when it comes to in that courtroom, you got to make sure that your ancestors and that your spirit and that your intent is set. Because a person, and it's not just desperation, it's a pathetic person. They are pathetic, and you are told to feel sorry for them. And see, this is why I told y'all I'm an empath. I'm very empathic, a very powerful empath, but I'm a dark empath. So and you know what? Everything that I have earned it and went through it. And no one else that I don't want to give it to is entitled to it. And that's the way you got to look at it. You got to learn to stop self-sacrificing. And a lot of y'all have went to the courtroom and had these injustices in court because that person is allowed to get to get away with it. But then when you look at it, it's like, everybody always talks about the afterlife. Yeah, we all know that person is more than likely going to go to hell for what they did for lying, because they have to stick with those indoctrinated beliefs. But at the end of the day, you still out of your money. You don't owe nobody nothing but yourself. So you don't owe that person anything. And that person is trying to get what you have obtained or either developed within yourself. And they do it by creating these false accusations against you because their truth is desperation and patheticness. They have a need. Same thing as energy harvesting. They feel that they have a right to your energy, even though they have the capability within themselves to create it for whatever they're going through. This is codependency. This is codependency. Hey, I need to use you. Oh, you got something? Let me get that. It's the same thing as thieving, only it's done in more of a sophisticated way. And a lot of y'all that manifest your power, you manifest your money, you're manifesting, and you're not using other people, alchemy, you understand it, and they evidently don't. And the next thing you know, you wrapped up in these false accusations of this pathetic person that are not the truth, and they're not manifesting half of what you're manifesting, which it ain't about who does more or who has more. But the point is that it's at the end of the truth, at the end of the truth, you don't have to suffer because that other person is in their weak place. You have a choice as to whether or not you want to martyr yourself for this other person. You have a choice. You don't have to do that. So when you go in that courtroom, you don't want to be boggled down with these energies of these people. And then the next thing you know, the judge is granting them your money because nobody was actually there to speak for you. You decided that you were going to call you decided that you were going to call on to the same spirits that they used to formulate that false stuff against you in the first place. Okay, so and you have to have a will to protect your energy, even though they're only wanting a piece of what you got. You don't have to give it to them. You don't have to do anything for anybody that you don't want to do. Perhaps instead of that person scheming and scamming, because you didn't need to do that to them. You don't need what they got. They got less than you. Instead of that, and let's talk about sins of the father, generational things, and things that are someone else's responsibility. Okay. That's the same thing. A lot of you guys that have these generational curses on you that have been cursed for generations, and even there may be other lifetimes that, karmics don't actually have the right in this paradox and this reality for that, because you've already paid the price for that. So that person that did this scamming and this scheme to get you in that courtroom to convince the judge to grant them your money, even though they're not entitled to it. It happens all the time. Now, if you've truly done something wrong, then it just is what it is. But injustices happen all the time. This is the reason why you have to call in to your ancestors. And they will bring the justice and the protection that you need. Because they will do all sorts of things to, try to get you down, including threatening you. You know what I'm saying? When somebody is trying to take your energy, and when it comes to energy harvesting, we see this a lot. Energy harvesting is so real. And people will lie, or they will do all kinds of stuff to try to get in your energy. At the end of the day, you lied, and your ancestors are going to say, no, you lied. They are the ones that are going to bring. I'm going to give y'all an example. I'm going to give y'all a perfect example of what happened to me, and this was some really amazing stuff. This is the reason why I always and forever will open up the way for my ancestors. So before I moved into this house, I had a landlord at another house. And he had messed up or done something when he fixed the toilet, and um it caused like the ceiling to leak downstairs because he fixed the toilet upstairs. Anyway, it wasn't that the mold was bothering me, it was other stuff that, that probably didn't have anything to do with the landlord, himself. But but the landlord was dirty, because the landlord, when I put in a notice to vacate the property, the landlord all of a sudden, even though I was already vacating the property, decided that he was going to try to stop me from getting a place by opening a bogus case against me in the court. So, first of all, the fact that I filed a notice to vacate prior to him filing an eviction meant that it was already frivolous. Okay, but the courts were still going to accept it, right? And so a lot of people in that situation would probably be a little bit, scared. I'm in this man's house, he probably has a key to my house. And I wasn't never scared, because I ain't never scared of nothing. I ain't never scared. Okay. So I had put in the notice to vacate, and so he filed a retaliatory eviction against me, which meant that probably the mistake that I made was I should have found another place first. But he decided, I'm gonna hate on her, and I'm gonna make it harder, because if the next place that you go to checks your record, they may see that open eviction and they'll automatically deny you. So he wanted to try to stop me from moving. Okay. So you know what I did? I did court case work. Okay. I did that work. And then I also protected myself within the premises, because I actually lived there an extra 2 or 3 months. I don't know what this dude was tripping off of, because he knew I was a witch. He knew I was a witch. So I contact him and I say, why would you do that? And it was almost like dude was possessed. You know what I'm saying? It was like I was talking to a demon. I was like, wow. So I said, yeah, I'll see you in court. Now, keep in mind, there was mold that technically he needed to spend thousands of dollars to do mold remediation. I had, I could have filed my own lawsuit against him in the court, but I'm like, I'm just gonna move. I don't care where I got moved to. I'm just gonna move. And I did the respectful thing by giving him 60 days notice. Now I have, because my mother, God bless her, so I love my mommy so much. My mommy always told me, you need to quit renting houses and stuff. You need to buy a house, which I but I could have found a tenant to replace me. You know what I'm saying? But I think it began to be about me for some reason. It was about me, right? So I gave him 60 days notice. That gives him 2 months to put the property on the market and get another renter up in there. Okay. But anyway, so we go to court. Of course I filed my answer, which meant that when I filed that answer, I already won because I had a copy of the rent check that I had sent. So when I filed my answer with the court, there was a copy. I actually sent him a money order. That way he couldn't say nothing. Right? So it was a copy of a money order that I had sent. And then also, I let the courts know, this is a retaliatory eviction, right? But I still did court case work. So when I go in the courtroom, the judge coincidentally looks just like one of my ancestors, and it was so weird. And so it was shortly before Halloween, and you could tell that the judge presiding over that case was he had the spirit of one of my ancestors, because he was talking about Halloween, and it and he was laughing and just in good spirits, and the courtroom was, the vibrations was high. And he said, first of all, when he first took the bench, he said, I am going to say to any landlord in here that I will be denying your eviction proceeding if I see any evidence that you have not fixed a problem, whether or not it's major or minor in your property. And I will be sending the city out to inspect the property. So you will not be granted a judgment of eviction today if any of your tenants, now that's the law in Georgia. Your landlord cannot evict you if there's anything unfixed at the property. Okay. So the guy that was the landlord, heard everything. Okay. Hey, Shamika. So I was ready to move up out of there. You know what I'm saying? I ain't the type of person that's gonna stay in somebody's property that don't want me there. I could have actually stayed there on the landlord's dime. I didn't do that. I moved out and moved into a hotel. I sure did. I said, I'm out of here. I moved my stuff into storage, and since I don't have family down here, I moved to a hotel. I said, I'm getting the hell up out of here. I got to go. I got to be free of these chains. Mm-hmm. With two babies on my back. I sure did. I left up out of there on November the 1st. So the landlord knew that he wasn't gonna win that case because I had mold at the house. Like, I want to move anyway. I ain't trying to stay here with no damn mold. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. And me and my babies was kicking it up in that hotel room. You know what I'm saying? We was, okay. It was like a vacation. It was like an extended vacation. Okay, getting room service, ordering pizzas and tacos, and sitting there. We was watching. I never forget this. You know what I'm saying? We was watching. American Horror Story. You know what I'm saying? Just sitting there chilling. We had our computers. We hooked up our computers to the Wi-Fi. We had our little Netflix accounts. You know what I'm saying? So we was chilling, and I was still running my business out of the hotel. I was still running my spiritual business. And it was rough because, I had people that was, they was in the wrong place at the time. But you know what I'm saying? It is all good. You know what I'm saying? But I left up out of there. So we had to at court that day, I could have gotten extension. We had to see a mediator. You know what I told the mediator? I said, I'm moving out of this property on the 31st. That was the official move out date, October 31st, 2019. I'm moving out of this property. I want to make sure that this is not on my record because it's bogus. Now, keep in mind some other bullshit was happening. Somebody had taken out something in my that's why you got to lock up your credit, because somebody had, they had ruined my credit. That was the only reason why it took me a while to find a new place, because somebody had fucked up my credit. They had taken out some kind of, it was only like a $300 loan or something in my name, and it had destroyed my credit. Because there was some real bullshit going on. It was some real bullshit going on. So the mediator, I think the court date was what? It was like October something. It was, a few weeks. It was in October or either September. And, the landlord said, well, that's fine. He said, how long do you need to move, ma'am? And I said, I will move out of your property on November the 1st. Everything was dropped. Those was my spirits in that courtroom. And I didn't have to do I didn't do no beef tongue for that. I just did a little court jar. And see, that's justice. And it's not on my record. Like, I'm like, I told the mediator, I said, and I was sitting right there in front of him. I said, why would you try to make it harder on me to move? You know what I'm saying? It was obvious that you was doing some fuck shit. I didn't say it like that, but I'm like, it was obvious you was doing some fuck shit. You know what I'm saying? To try to make it. And why would you do that? You know what I'm saying? What, what's up with your spirit? And he knew he couldn't win because the judge said, go to mediation and figure this out. I could have stayed a little bit longer. I didn't want to stay. I was ready to go. I was ready to get the fuck up out of there. So we go back in the courtroom and the judge is smiling. He looked like one of my ancestors. I'm not even gonna lie to you. And he's just like, did y'all come to agreement? And there was no eviction that day. Like, he tried to put an eviction on my record just because I wanted to fucking move. Make sure your spirits is up in that courtroom, because it could have went the other way. Even though it was obvious, but sometimes corrupt stuff happens in the courtroom. And so it was just really a trip. The false accusation of this bullshit, even though and you know what, a landlord can decide to not accept your rent. But as long as you pay it, that's why you always go to court. And you know what I'm saying? Because the rent check was already mailed. I took a copy of the rent check and you know what I'm saying, and filed it with my answer. You know, that's some real hating ass shit. And at the time, I was pulling in, I was clocking my G's. Still am. You got people that are haters. Pisses me off. Oh my God. And that's why I said this was a man. Why would you do that to a woman? And you know, it just, why? I ain't the type of person to go, well, I'm just going to ask the good Lord. No, I'm going to do work. And that's why I had justice up in that courtroom. That's why I even made it to court. They was trying to stop me from going to court. They was trying to stop me from even being able to make it to court so that I could be heard. Because if you don't show up to court, the landlord gonna get a default judgment. But the whole way down to the court, I could see their spirits trying to stop me, but my ancestors was kicking they ass. Scheming bastards. My question was, why would you do that? Like, I didn't understand it. I don't understand why people lie. And it was a government subsidized home anyway. My rent was only like $50. Actually, it had gotten rolls up to like 300. He had gotten his rent, but he didn't file eviction until I gave notice to vacate. Ain't that a bitch? It just is disgusting. People are disgusting. People are disgusting. They are liars. They are disgusting. And I always get justice. So y'all contact me about y'all court cases. I don't give a damn about their threats. I don't give a damn about their gunfire. I don't care. We are going to get justice because they're liars. I can't stand that. Now, it's a lot of things I can't really discuss here. It's a lot of things about spirit and possession that I cannot discuss that are forbidden for me to discuss, especially when it comes to dealing with the judicial system. You know, I ain't about to discuss all that here. You know what I'm saying? But you know, if you know, it was his bad spirits that was leading to all of the problems. I was like, why? You know, it was his fault at the end of the day, but he felt automatically like he had the upper hand because he was the landlord and he didn't. If you do shit right, you do it right, you do the right thing, and everything will be okay. You do some wrong shit and you through when you dealing with me. Dead or alive. That it sucks. They suck. I can't stand a liar and a fraud with false accusations. False accusations will be dealt with accordingly, especially when it comes to the law. And St. Michael is my right hand man. He is. Now, I try to keep myself as straight as possible. I do. You know what I'm saying? I don't come up out of that because a lot of times, a lot of y'all dealing with negative karma because people are trying to be in your energy and it gets real confusing. But at the end of the day, they gonna always lose and they know it. So if y'all got anything going on that has anything to do with false accusations inside or outside of the court, we're gonna get you justice. And I wish they would try to file false charges against any of my clients. You ain't gonna do it. Because to be honest with you, I could have said, Judge, this landlord falsely, can we have him arrested? So, when I got in my hotel room, I was able to look for a place without that on my record. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't showing as like an open case. They threw it out of the damn courtroom. I don't know why he did that. I was like, why? I was like, what you do that for? But then at the same time, I had to work on my credit while I was there because somebody had already stolen my identity. Man, it's a bunch of crazy shit. And then also, y'all, I want to let y'all know something. Like Spirit wants me to say this to y'all. Like if you had any family member that was involved with Freemasonry or either the Eastern Star, y'all can get at me because you know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, like, truthfully, that's why I don't get involved with any secret societies or organizations. Fuck them. I don't want nothing to do with that because you never know what they up to. My grandmother was in the Eastern Star, and for some reason, I've always felt like because of that, my grandmother left because she left the Eastern Star because she felt like they was involved with things that she felt like they was actually attacking her family and doing bad things. And and they will stalk you, you know what I'm saying? But fuck them, they ain't got no power. Yeah. So that too, that stupid ass, a lot of y'all will, y'all get scared of them. Don't be scared of them. You know what I'm saying? The divine feminine and the divine masculine is going to deal with them. They can only get over on people that allow them to get over on them. There's a lot of y'all getting stalked by these secret societies, and they do participate in energy harvesting. They do. And they all over the place. And they doing all kind of stuff. They better not do it again. They better not do it again. They always doing something. People be like, well, I'm a part of a secret society. You know what? You want me to conjure legion on your ass? I can't stand them. Don't make me bring forward legion on you. I will conjure legion and burn them down. Straight up and down, man. They crazy. So a lot of y'all that are dealing with that, and I speak to some people quite often that have that kind of involvement, and they will create all kind of false things, and they do rituals and stuff, and you know what I'm saying. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying. You're sovereign from all of that because they use people, and they will try to harness your energy and your power. Okay. And I think it's just totally disgusting. It's absolutely ridiculous. Okay. You know, Freemasonry is predicated upon, confused misogynistic males. It's so sad. They actually depicted Masonic energy in American Horror Story Apocalypse. Was, if you notice, a lot of the where they showed the so-called Antichrist, which they kind of mixed it. It was made for TV, but that's basically what you're dealing with, a group of males that are, they so silly. You know what I'm saying? They so silly. Yeah, they're really silly. Yeah, they really are. They always up to no good. But at the end of the day, you're gonna get justice. Okay. And it's really nothing that they can do about it. You need need to get that spirit of fear off of you. Well, I'm scared to do witchcraft because, well, they're doing it. So why are you scared? Like they're doing it, and it just, it's tied up with religion and the church. And, what they need to do is go ahead and give up the ghost. You know what I'm saying? They doing all this evil stuff, and it's mainly affecting women and children. And I can tell you that for years I have protected my children because I got a vision of something really horrible happening. And I said, God damn it. I put my life on it. I put my blood on it. I put everything that I am on it. I put every bone in my body on it, that these sick people are not going to manifest in my life and my children's lives what they were actually trying to do, because they are losers straight up and down. And they want to make you feel like you some kind of goddamn sitting duck. I would suggest for them that they move on, you know. And I wouldn't be on their side. I would never be on their side. I would never work for them. I would never do anything because they're already damned. Everything that they do is damned. Everything. You know what I'm saying? No, ain't nobody would dare try to take me to court, Heather. But I have had people say false accusations about me, and through these stupid ass weak rituals they try to make it seem real. But it's sad because when you believe in them, that's where you're weakened, when you believe in what they're talking about. But no, ain't nobody taking me to court. I wish they would try to, because my spirits are going to rule the courtroom. My spirits are going to rule the courtroom, and they're real weird and goofy. You know what I'm saying? It just is goofy. So, make sure y'all understand that, you know what I'm saying? Ordinary citizens or whatever, you're just trying to make it. And, they done tried to, first of all, they're in a falsely created indoctrination anyway, that they have any authority to take on any sacrifices. That's a false indoctrinated belief. And, the cleaners are here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like they gonna clean all that up. And so the stuff that they do, you know what I'm saying, sure, it may give them a temporary reward, but at the end of the day, they're gonna crash and burn. And my spirits will do, they do use fire. So a lot of people will see me as evil, but at the end of the day, we're all supposed to be happy and living joyous under the sun, and this is exactly what's gonna happen. It just is what it is. Because innocent people shouldn't have to be persecuted. It's almost like it's not about purity, it's about power and energy. You have every right to reclaim your power. You have every right to claim your power. You know? Okay. You have every right to do that. And I don't care about they Bible verses and all of that stuff. They really always come in with that mess, but at the end of the day, you have your rights as well, and they do the most, and it is pathetic, it's desperate, and it's really, I can tell you that a lot of them are, and I always can see it coming, that there's going to be investigations on that. A lot of investigations are going into place because the people see what they up to, and they're terrorizing. It's domestic terrorism is pretty much what we're dealing with, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? And they doing too much, and they done pissed off and fucked with the wrong people. And they know they have. Right? So, and then you move on with your life. And they be like, "Ha, I got a secret society. We thought we 1,000 deep." Oh, okay. Okay. All right. I'll let you know whenever I'm afraid of you. I'll let you know whenever I have any fear of you. Okay. Because at the end of the day, you are free from those chains. But what they do is they try to put you in this mental prison. And, they try to convince you that, they are the all powerful. But in reality, it's just smoke and mirrors. Especially a lot of you guys that are, your energy is that of a lot of power. And it's not that you're corrupted or that, you're a bad person. It's just that, your power shouldn't be used to feed their sick organizations, and they do participate in energy harvesting and soul stealing and soul snatching and stuff. You know what I'm saying? They do. Yeah. Yeah. And it's real sad. You know what I'm saying? Because, and the way that they have no regard at all. They really don't, but they are not able to do certain things because, that then it would, yeah. And they will try to make death threats indirectly, death threats. So, there's certain deities, in particular, Santa Muerta. Doesn't matter if you're black, if you're white, a lot of that dangerous stuff, when you feel like you're in danger, and Santa Muerta is everything. You know what I'm saying? And then of course you can work with your other ancestors like Eshu, Ogun. Of course they got your back, because they will try to drive you into a wall. And really, to be honest with you, their associations have long gotten rid of them and said, "Nah, we ain't gonna have no part of that. We ain't about to be a part of that." So they go out on their own and they think, "Oh, we gonna do this and we gonna do that," and they ain't gonna do nothing to you. Because it doesn't make any sense for some of y'all, some of the things that I see y'all going through. It don't make no sense. And you are protected. You are. I don't care what they say. You're protected. You always will be. Your life is protected. Your energy is protected. And what's sad is that they do these energy harvesting rituals and they're not even getting your energy. They think because they get a little scraps here and there that they getting something, but they not. Yeah. So, for those of you that have court cases, you guys can contact me. I haven't done very many court cases in a while. And contact me if you have some bogus court case, or either, you know what I'm saying, something is going on, because at the end of the day, they not, well, first of all, they not really convincing anybody that's important of what they're saying. But then, obviously, if they were to take it to the courtroom, if they were to actually do that, to where, you know they would do the things that they're doing, then there's help for you. Okay. And that includes even if they have somebody working inside of the courtroom or somebody working inside of these organizations. It doesn't matter. None of that matters. The only thing that matters is spirit and your ancestors. That's all that matters. Okay. You know, y'all gonna be all right. And you know what? Every single day, up until that time that, you have to deal with that when justice will prevail. You know what I'm saying? Spirit don't want you to live within their energy. You don't have to be in their energy. You just sit back and relax and laugh and smile and, have a good time and live your life. Don't worry and shit. Don't worry. Quit worrying. Okay, quit worrying. Okay. All right, guys. I gotta go. I will see y'all later. Blessings to y'all. All right, guys. Bye bye. Bless, bless. Bye.